The Kansas City Chiefs go and visit Jacksonville this weekend, where they are 3.5-point favorites on the road. Jacksonville is 3-1 at this point. Kansas City picked up a big win at home last week against the Ravens. And what I'm looking for, this feels like yet again another prove-it game for both these teams. Was the Chiefs, once again, not only have we talked with them a ton, but it seems like they end up in these games. They performed well offensively last week, but the Ravens' defense has been terrible, and Jacksonville's defense has actually been pretty good. So it's like, can you build off that performance and show that wasn't necessarily fluky, and because you're playing a bad defense that was really beat up, can you show that like you've actually made strides offensively and that Xavier Worthy being back matters, and then that when you get Rashid Rice back, like, oh, look out, this is going to be a dangerous offense. And then for the Jaguars, this is a chance to make a statement of like, we beat the Chiefs at home, we are for real, we're a legit contender, at least to make the playoffs. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. But thoughts on this game, guys?
One of the biggest storylines coming to the game. So Jacksonville leads the league in takeaways with 13 this year. They had only 9 all of last season. Now they've gotten the benefit of playing Brock Purdy last week, but they've gotten a ton of turnovers. Devin Lloyd has 3 picks. This is coming from NFL Pro. This is the 8th time in Patrick Mahomes' career that he'll face the team leading the NFL's in takeaways entering the week. Mahomes is 5-2 in the previous 7 games, with 2+ passing touchdowns in every game, and he's only averaged 1 giveaway in those prior 7 games, so 7 turnovers in those 7 games. That kind of tells the story of the game. I, for me, expect Kansas City to play a very Kansas City game. I felt like they've gotten back to that the past 2 weeks versus how they played in the first 2 weeks, where it felt like they were pressing. Clearly something was going on. The mojo didn't feel right. In the Eagles game, you're going for it on 4th and 1 on the first drive of the second half in your own field or your own territory. It didn't make any sense. And then these last 2 weeks, they have done what they have been so excellent at doing, is taking advantage of what they're supposed to take advantage of. The end of the first half against the Giants, Russell Wilson throws a pick. When they're in field goal territory, Chiefs get it, drive down, get a field goal. That's what good teams do. 6-point swing before the half. And then last week against the Ravens, they're trailing early, but they force Lamar into a weird throw. They get a pick, and they just kind of go running from there. And I just think they're back to doing that, and I expect them to play that way. For Jacksonville, offensively, it's not been the story of their season whatsoever. It's been their defense that's won them these games. It won them the Texans game. It won the game last week for them. Against the 49ers, they were +3 in the turnover margin, and still that was a really close game down the stretch. They've got to get something going. Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas has to get something going. The Travis Hunter experiment has quietly not been good.
Not been good is a nice way to put it. This is an overreaction, but like just looking at the snaps he's played, we're approaching kind of disaster territory for the experiment early on, and considering what they gave up for him in the draft.
Yeah. So last week, week 1, week 2, week 3, he had increased how many snaps he had played every week. Last week, he played the lowest amount of snaps he's played this entire season, just 35%. He played essentially half of the offensive snaps, only 9 snaps on defense. Hunter was targeted 5 times, catching 3 for 42 yards. And on defense, he was targeted only once and allowed a 7-yard reception. So Travis Hunter has not been playing to that level. Primetime, though, and he is a kind of a disciple of Primetime and Deion Sanders. I am curious to see if that will be something they try to use this weekend with Liam Cohen. Or not, I shouldn't say this weekend, this Monday with Liam Cohen. They need to do that in front of their crowd. That's been a big thing for Jacksonville since the COVID year. It's been trying to get that stadium full of Jaguars fans, get a consistent fan base, consistent season ticket holders. And to do that, you have to be competitive and win these kinds of games. And they haven't been great at doing that in the past. They'll get a brilliant opportunity on Monday. and they need to take advantage of that. And I think they know that, and ownership knows that. That's why you go out there, and that's why they drafted Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Was to try to get butts in the seats to see Travis Hunter. Now you got to use him, and I think that's a huge part of this game this weekend. Is can they get Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter the ball? And if they can continue to find success running the ball, I think they've got a chance. I think that's why the spread is only 3.5 and why it's so close.
Sure.
And opened at 2.5. Travis Etienne's been great. He's averaging 6.1 yards per carry, and he's second in the NFL in rushing yards with 394. So he's been great after a bad season last year. And if they can continue to build on that, I think they've got a chance. And I would love to see it, too, because I'm a big Trevor guy, big Clemson guy.
Of course.
And I obviously hate the Chiefs. So I would love to see some great showing from Jacksonville on Monday, because if they don't, it's such a wasted opportunity. They don't get primetime games really ever. They get one a year. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I agree. Any thoughts, Sanders, before I kind of go in my final spiel?
I mean, no. Sorry. I had thoughts about, like, Travis Hunter, but I don't know if we want to have a whole Travis Hunter discussion. Because, like, you said 3 receptions or on 5 targets for 43 yards.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible stat line. And I don't know did you say how many snaps he played?
Played half, 36 snaps.
So, like,
Of 63.
yeah.
Wait, I thought he played half offensively. How many do you play defensively? Do you play half
Defensively, only played 9.
Yeah.
Snaps.
So do you think that they're going to consider transitioning him to just offensively? Because 3 receptions on 5 targets on 36 snaps. If you double the snaps, now you're talking 6 receptions, 10 targets, 80-something yards,
I
potentially.
don't know.
That's not a bad stat line.
They've been experimenting, because in the Texans game 2 weeks ago, he played more defensive snaps than he played offensive. He played 41 defensive, 35 offensive. And so I don't know. He's played more offensive this year than he has defensive, 116 to 86. I think they're just experimenting right now, and it's still trying to figure out where to use him, which is concerning for me right now. Because like, why would you invest a first-round pick and so much draft capital into him if you didn't already have some kind of plan for it yet? And it just doesn't make any sense right now. I just kind of wish they just unleashed him and let him play as much as he wants on both sides. I think he's more than capable of doing that. And if you put him in the right matchups, like in the Bengals game, he wasn't great defensively, but he was matched up against Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Like a rookie corner is going to be great against Jamar Chase without cheating for the most part, which is just holding him and hoping to get away with it. So I don't know. It's been concerning, and that's why I said it's not been good. And like Jack said, that's kind of understating it. So far, this experiment has not worked, and it's been disappointing.
Yeah, I think they really should just, I agree, like, let them run with it and just see what you have. Because I think it's hard to know what you have and, like, what you're going to get from him if you just kind of, like, pick and choose and keep tweaking it. You kind of almost have to let him go out and play ball a little bit to figure out if he can hold up. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it was at San Francisco. That's the most receiving yards he's had in a game with 42. Other weeks he's had lower 20s, 33 yards. Defensively, he's grading well, which the thing you said, JP, about him only being targeted once for 7 yards.
Yeah,
that's
played 9 snaps.
Yeah. That is the weird thing about that is bad. But the weird thing about defense is, like, low numbers like that are good.
Yeah.
Like that he targeted a low number of times. Like, that's what you want because it means your guy is, in theory, covered. But 9 snaps is not great. Let me see how many completions he gave up in these other games. He gave up 1 reception in week 2 and then 4 receptions on 4 targets in week 3. So he's only
had 2 bad PIs in the Bengals game.
Okay.
Especially the one that allowed Jake Browning to drive down the field and hit the game-winning drive.
Been his only 2 penalties on the season.
Yeah.
But he's allowed 6 receptions on 7 targets and he's played 101 snaps, 74 of them in pass coverage. So he's still, like, it is a weird thing of, like, they probably maybe when they drafted him, they were like, we don't know exactly how we're going to use him. but he's too talented.
That's just
And
so
the
idiotic
high-
of them, though.
To trade a first-round pick.
I agree. I didn't like them trading for him. I thought the Browns won that trade after the trade.
Especially with the way Mason Graham's playing right now. They got to be
Yeah.
clapping their hands.
I thought that
In
the
Cleveland.
approach the Browns took in adding that extra first round pick and still going and getting one of the three blue chip guys in that draft, because it was Graham, Hunter, Ward, and then was there another?
Well, Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter.
Abdul
Thank
Carter.
you. That he was the fourth. So there were four blue chip guys. Graham was like the last.
I'd say the three blue chip were Hunter, Carter, and
Ward.
Graham.
Graham.
Ward is just like the best QB.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
know if he was really a blue.
That's
you know,
fair.
That's highly graded.
So just the execution, the approach the Browns took, getting that extra pick, getting Mason Graham, a position that you needed help at. I think that I loved that trade when it happened. I thought they won it, and now it's kind of hindsight is making it feel more and more like that. But I also think it's way too early to start ringing alarm bells because Travis Hunter isn't playing awful. He's just not playing a lot.
Yeah, I don't want to ring the alarm bells
Yeah.
for 4 weeks, but if I think this is a perfect opportunity to use him on national television against the damn Chiefs.
Yeah.
Like, I think you need to send him out there, play him a ton of snaps. And I don't care if he gets burned, even on defensively, or he drops a key pass. He needs to be in these bright moments because, one, for your fan base, like, you need to build that. And two, he's built for him. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. Like, this guy isn't a schmooze. He's not terrible. He let him play. And one of the things Greg Olson always says, and one of his big phrases is, when you get into big moments, think players, not plays. Travis Hunter is a player. Let him get the ball and make something happen. You don't just draw up your best play. You draw up your play to get the ball to your best player. And he is someone I think they just need to use more in that capacity. And I hope that they do it on Monday night, because if it's like he was last week, where he was kind of underwhelming for the most part and plays his lowest snap share, that's concerning.
I agree.
For the second overall pick in the draft.
100%.
Where did Liam Cohen come from?
Offensive coordinator
Tampa
for
Bay.
the Buccaneers.
Okay.
Which is why I was hoping I would have seen more from this passing attack up to
Yes,
this point
absolutely.
in the season.
Who I saw some stat, and I'm trying to remember who's do you know who the receiving coordinator there? I know that's a crazy.
I do not know who the receiving coordinator is.
I saw a stat that there's like someone on the staff who is now at Jacksonville, who's been at other places where wide receivers were like their growth was stunted, and he.
No, that's no, you are correct. He is there.
I just can't remember who it is, and I want to like find out where he's been so I could be accurate. Are you trying to find it, JP?
No, keep looking.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the name.
There's a coach on the staff of the Jacksonville Jaguars who has been at other locations, and while he was there, like had young talented wide receivers. Who is it? Edgar Bennett? He's the wide receivers coach.
Not him.
Okay. And while he was
It's their offensive coordinator.
it's the offensive coordinator.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Grant Udinsky. That's the.
See, that doesn't sound right either.
I agree. That doesn't sound right. It was a tweet. I don't know if you can find the tweet, Jack.
I'll see what
Shane
I can do.
Waldron,
Thank
That's-
you.
yeah.
Thank you. What is he on the staff? I don't even see him.
passing game coordinator, according to McBride.
Okay,
That's what I
appreciate
looked up,
it,
and that-
Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
Google does not claim he's a passing game coordinator.
Shane Waldron. Where he's been at? So he's been at the Bears, and we
Stunted Roma Dunze.
saw Roma Dunze didn't look great last year, and then at Seattle before that, and JSN didn't look good. He leaves Seattle to go to Chicago. JSN has a great year last year. Roma Dunze is bad. He leaves Chicago to come to Jacksonville. Roma Dunze looks great now in Chicago, and we're seeing Brian Thomas Jr. take a step back, and we're not seeing great play from Travis Hunter. That's exactly what I wanted to say, Andrew. Thank you. So Shane Waldron is potential, not the cause, but like that's something to keep an eye on. Is he a potential reason we're seeing Travis Hunter struggle in year one?
Maybe. I think there's a lot of external factors around the other situations not working out.
Yeah.
But like besides him, but there's a chance. I still would have trusted Liam Cohen more, I guess. Let's get into picking this game though.
Yeah, for sure.
Kansas City's favored by 3.5. I like them to cover. I think this is a game where Jacksonville's offense is finally going to have to like win them a game, and I trust the Chiefs' defense to not allow that to happen, to shut down Trevor Lawrence in a key moment, to stop ETN in a key moment, something like that, and come away with the win and cover the 3.5.
Yeah. I'll also pick Kansas City. Yeah, I want to pick Jacksonville just because I want to see Kansas City struggle, but I don't think they're going to. I also want to give a quick shout out to the Jags defense because in our preview, I had the take that their defense was not good last year, and they returned like 10 starters or something. It was like the same defense, and I was like, why would you expect the defense to get better when it's just the same players and a lot of the same staff? And they have improved. Actually, I don't know if it's the same staff, but they have improved to be really good this year. But I don't think they're going to be good enough, and I don't think the offense is going to be able to hang with the Chiefs this weekend or Monday.
I'm taking the Jaguars.
Let's
on
go.
prime
Some
time.
diversity.
I think they'll win and cover. I think this is I know I said in the opening, I feel like Kansas City's going to play Kansas City football. I would like to pump the brakes, though. I think the hype has now, the pendulum has just swung too far to them being a little bit overhyped. I just don't think we can pretend like the Chargers game and the Eagles game didn't happen. And I don't think the Jaguars are on the Chargers and Eagles par. But I don't think they're that far away, at least defensively. They're playing that way this year. With the way they're running the ball, I think they're playing that way this year. They've also got everything to play for. Like, this is their Super Bowl, at least at this point in the season. A win over Kansas City, you're 4-1. You're in a huge spot, and you knock Kansas City down to 2-3. It's primetime Monday Night Football in your building. I think all the emotion will be there. It'll be a huge crowd, and I think it'll help them a ton. I think they'll force a turnover or two on Patrick Mahomes. He averages 1 turnover per game in those games, like I said, and I think it'll be a key one. Give me Jacksonville to win and a nail biter, as every Kansas City primetime game ever is.
Sure.
But give me Jacksonville to win and cover. I would not bet Kansas City minus 3.5. I would bet them 2.5, which is what it opened, but I would not bet Kansas City minus 3.5.